Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys once again for tuning into a pre-market watch list. Today, we're going to take a look at a few stocks. You can see it in the title of the video. Going to be watching Apple and Alibaba once again. Still watching Apple, still watching Alibaba, but I will also be keeping an eye on a few earnings plays we'll briefly touch on. There's so many earnings plays today that it's really hard to determine, out of all of the earnings plays, which one might really be a great trade on the day. So we'll take a look at a few stocks, answer a few questions as we normally do, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys. So we'll wait a few seconds here for some people to get in. But again, we do have a lot of earnings plays. Right now, volatility index is at about 20, so not super volatile. We've seen the market have a pretty good day yesterday, moving higher. So that was a good sign. But all in all, not a bad day trading yesterday. A lot of people are talking about NIO this morning with NIO earnings report coming out, and the stock is now currently moving higher. So we will touch about NIO, might even trade it today. Not too sure yet. It always seems to fail us when it looks good. Whenever it's moving up higher, it naturally sells off. So, we may not trade that one. We'll keep an eye on it. So, with that being said, let's get into sharing the screen now. All right. All right, so first one here on the watch list, we'll talk about Apple. So going to watch Apple here. My chart loads. Let me get some of these old drawings off. All right, so I kind of like Apple where it's at. I think Apple still wants to try a little bit more to the downside. It's gapping down a little bit today. It's not a huge gap down, but we see it hit lows of 198 yesterday. So it did enter into the 190s mark. It's gapping down right now. It's hovering right at about the $200 area. Now, this is kind of what we mentioned yesterday, that we could very well see Apple around the $200 price. And so right now, if you look at the yearly chart, Apple is turning into a buy. I think Apple might want to try and move a little bit lower today. So I'm still going to watch it, maybe a little short bias for now. But Apple is getting down into, into a buy point. Personally, I'd like to see it down towards 196 or even 195 before buying it. But will it get there? We don't know for sure, but it is getting into a buy area. So I might start looking to actually size into Apple for a long position. Maybe watching it long for the next 2 to 3 days. Again, it's still kind of dependent on what the market does, but if the market can continue to consolidate and at least kind of stay within the way it's been trading, not getting too violent to the downside, then I think Apple could actually turn into a good long play from where it's currently at. So following Apple today pretty closely. The gap down doesn't really concern me very much. Personally, I'd like to see it back down towards 198s to 196s. So still going to watch it because I think there's some people that do want to see if this is going to fall short again. So going to watch it just to see if it kind of moves down. But I think I'm going to start watching Apple long bias and start working my way into a position there. Okay. Next one on the list is Baba. So Alibaba is the same thing as yesterday, watching to see if it can break this 145 mark. Now, we've seen it get down there yesterday, then it squeezed, and we've seen it basically hold around the 144s to 145s all day yesterday without breaking down. So this right here, all this consolidation and buying tells me that people are respecting the 145 to 144 level as a support. That's why there's so much back and forth battling going on at that point. So we are gapping down a little bit today. So I'm going to be watching Alibaba short bias, seeing if it breaks that 145 mark. But as you can see, that whole 145 level, 144, it's been a strong support. So we might as well just see Alibaba start going into some choppy consolidation where it resumes the type of trading it had around the 144s, 150s, 148s for quite some time. So keeping an eye on Alibaba. I like the 145 level. Just want to see how it treats it today. If in fact we hold support, we might see a nice long play on Alibaba. You've seen the kind of squeeze it had early in the morning yesterday. We might have some of that move take place today if it doesn't in fact break down on that 145 level to the downside. We might as well start seeing another squeeze on the stock. So going to be keeping a close eye on Alibaba here as it's starting to kind of curl up and break some levels. All right, so that's Alibaba. Now I'll talk about NIO. So NIO had earnings. NIO is pretty straightforward. You could look at their earnings and they're producing more cars than they were. They're expected to produce more cars. You know, there's some other things going on about the earnings reports I'm not going to really get into, but we're going to look at the technicals here. And the technicals basically say we're up at resistance. It does have a nice clean chart pattern. If you look at, you know, NIO, it does have a nice looking chart pattern where this could continue pushing. But again, we're up towards previous resistance mark. So again, we're really entering into a seller's territory rather than a buyer's territory. So that's also what makes me a little bit nervous about, you know, trading NIO to the long side. It is keeping up and it is picking up and staying up so far pre-market. But you can see we're starting to see more drawbacks. You can see the stock is drawing back more as we've entered into this gray zone that I had mapped off. All right, so we are entering into some areas where, you know, we might start seeing some selling pressure coming in on this particular stock. TTNP will kaboom. Geez, if it would TTNP. So TTNP will probably not kaboom. Personally, it did exactly what we mentioned it would do yesterday. It has completely filled its gap. Yeah, well, it did fill its gap up to 50 cents right here. Yeah, so it's filled that gap mark up to 50 cents. So chances are right now we're going to see TTNP pull back. Good chance we see that happening on TTNP. So I would watch for it. If you are going to take any long on it, TTNP has to stay over. It has to stay over like the 44-cent level. Then it could go on a run. But it did fill its gap up to 50 cents, respected the 50-cent level, sold off. So chances are we're probably going to see not a kaboom day on TTNP. What was I going to say? MAR. Marriott Hotel gap down. Kind of like this. Let's see what the volume looks like. So the volume's not too bad here on Marriott on the gap down. Arguably, this is probably going to be a good trade. We'll see. Usually Marriott, let's see, on its earnings gaps down. 126 to a low of 123. Yeah, so on Marriott's earnings days, it does see some range of about $3 to $8 in that area. So I would watch it. There might be some movement upwards of $3 to $8 per share. It's already had a pretty good gap down today. So let's see. Let me look back at the yearly chart, 180-day. It gapped down right into a support level. So if Marriott holds this this pre-market or after-hour low in 114, I'd actually watch it for a bounce in the beginning of the day, followed by a short play. I will look at AMD. AMD is always interesting. So Let me move some drawings. Okay, so AMD, let's see, all the way down to a low of 16, and sure enough, it bounced. I don't know if anybody was following this from a couple days ago. As we were saying, watch AMD for a bounce around 16. It hit 16.16 and then it ended up bouncing. So that was cool. That was nice. We caught some of that. I mean, AMD made its big bounce move. Right now, it's going through consolidation. So what we're going to see now is most likely some consolidation before we see another move. It is trending down, but again, right now, if you look at AMD, right? If you look at AMD the past 10 days, let's see. So look at this 10-day, 30-minute chart. You want to know what you should do with AMD? You want to know how to trade AMD? Ready? Look at the SPY, right? SPY. That's a 10-day, 30-minute chart. They look almost the exact same. 10-day, 30 minutes on the market and 10-day, 30-minute chart on AMD. SPY, AMD. SPY. That's not SPY. SPY, AMD. Ready? Netflix, SPY. Netflix, SPY. All the same. NVIDIA, SPY. NVIDIA, SPY. So any of your large cap stocks or any of your heavier weighted stocks, they naturally are going to follow the direction of the stock market when it's in uncertain times. So again, as the market has bounced, these other stocks have bounced. As we mentioned, when the market bounced, the stocks will bounce. The market has bounced, the stocks have now bounced. Now the market has pulled back a little bit over the past day, and now it's starting to consolidate. So we're probably going to see maybe a couple days of consolidation on the market, which means we're probably going to see a couple days of consolidation on a lot of these bigger name stocks. Not necessarily, but chances are pretty good we're going to see some choppier consolidating days here on a few of these stocks. Okay, so again, if you're going to be trading stocks, you got to make sure the ones that you're trading have made aggressive moves down or made aggressive moves up, in which it will cause for opportunity of volatility. Okay, if the stocks are just trading regularly within normal range, then they'll probably just have choppier trading days. Yeah, I don't know why. Again, I'm not sure why YouTube isn't notifying or sending out the notification on the videos. I mean, they do, but a lot of people say they get them late, so I can't really say why that's the case. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, a lot of people are talking about like the shipping stocks, tops. Hold on, tops and DCIX and, you know, GLBS, yeah, Global. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of these stocks are moving. I mean, this is natural. Every year around this time, you're going to start seeing these stocks picking up and moving, and they can turn into good trades, but a lot of times they're on extremely light volume. The spreads are usually a pain. So, again, the shipping stocks, really, the only time I trade shipping stocks is if they're really kabooming. And that is when I will trade the shipping stocks normally. If they have a nice setup with heavy volume, then I'll trade them. But they usually have kind of iffy volume with not so good setups. And then it just becomes more of a pain again. Yeah. So, anyways, we'll end it there. All right, so we'll end it there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys again for tuning in. As always, we will have another video here coming out today, and then I'll also be doing. We'll have our live trading video coming out today. after we're done trading, so you can check that out as long as I don't mess anything up in terms of recording, which I probably won't. So we will have our live recording video here later today of the trading day, see how we did. And then I think I'll also be uploading another video, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, not quite sure. I'll let you know if it's tomorrow, but on how to trade pre or post market on Thinkorswim. Many have questions about that and don't know how to do it, so I will show you guys how to trade pre and post market and after hours trading. There's nothing that you need to do, that's a lie, but there's nothing that you really have to change about your account that would allow you to trade pre or post market. There's nothing really to do. There's just a few settings that you have to kind of change over before you place a trade that allows your order to be going through during those time periods. So that video will be coming later today. All right, guys. So with that being said, I hope that helped you guys determine what you guys are going to trade for the day. So everybody take care, have a good day, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for another video. All right, take care.